Children of this world, what if the greatest power isn't magic, but a kind heart? Remember, let your light multiply good things in the world. Long ago, in the quiet village of Idu Amoja, there lived a smart and kind-hearted girl who everyone called her Ida. She was 17 years old, with dark skin that glowed in the sun, and neatly braided cornrows that her mother styled every weekend. Ida lived with her mother, Mama Neka, a strong woman who sold fresh okra and yam at the village market. Idu Amoja was a peaceful place with dusty red roads, tall palm trees, and round mud houses with thatched roofs. Children played with tires in the evening, and the sweet smell of jollof rice and roasted plantain often filled the air. Every weekday, Ida walked to Idu Central School, wearing her neat red and white uniform. Her two close friends, Mocha and Success, always walked with her. Mocha was tall and talkative, and Success was always thinking about money and fashion. One morning, as the girls rushed to school, they heard a soft, tired voice by the roadside. "My daughter, please help me, my waist is paining me," said an old woman. She stood beside a large clay pot, sweating under the morning sun. "Let's go," Success said quickly. "We are already late." "But she needs help," Ida said. "She looks tired." "She's a total stranger," Mocha said, frowning. "We don't know her." "What if she was your mother?" Ida asked quietly. "Would you leave her alone like this?" Ida dropped her school bag and stepped forward. "I will help you, Mama." The old woman's face lit up with a tired smile. "Thank you, my child. May the gods bless you." Ida lifted the heavy pot onto her head. It was much heavier than it looked. She followed the woman down a narrow bush path, away from the road. "Sorry, my daughter," the woman said gently. "We will soon reach my house." "Okay, Mama," Ida panted. "But the pot is very heavy. Why don't you have children to help you?" The woman only smiled and said, "Don't ask too many questions." Soon they stopped in front of a lonely tree, with no house in sight. "Mama, is this your house?" Ida asked, confused. "Yes, drop the pot here." Ida placed the pot on the ground and wiped her sweaty face. "You are a kind girl," the old woman said. "That is why I want to give you this pot." "Mama, what will I do with a dirty old pot?" Ida asked, raising her eyebrows. "This is not just any pot. It is a magic pot. It can multiply anything you put inside it. But be careful. Use it wisely. Great power comes with great responsibility." Ida laughed. "Mama, how can a pot multiply things? I have pots at home for cooking." "Give me some money," the woman said. "I only have 1,000 naira for transport." "Put it inside." Reluctantly, Ida placed the money inside the pot and covered it. The woman tapped the pot 3 times. When she opened it, thousands of naira spilled out. Ida gasped. "Mama, is this real? All from just 1,000? "Yes," the woman said, smiling. "But don't forget, use it to help others, not for selfish things." Before Ida could say another word, the woman vanished into the morning mist. Ida looked at the pot. It glowed softly. She was amazed, and a little scared. Just then, she heard footsteps. It was Mocha and Success. "Ida," they cried. "You're late. What happened? And what is that?" Ida didn't know what to say. Should she tell them? Could they keep a secret? Ida held the glowing pot tightly. She looked at her friends and said, "Let's find somewhere quiet. I need to show you something." Mocha and Success followed her behind a big mango tree near the village stream. "What is going on?" Mocha asked. Ida took a deep breath. "This pot is magic," she said slowly. "It can multiply anything you put inside." Success laughed. "Are you dreaming, Ida?" "I'm serious," Ida said. Watch. She opened her bag and took out a small biscuit. She dropped it inside the pot, then covered it and tapped it 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. When she opened the pot, 4 biscuits were inside. Mocha and Success screamed. What? It's real. Ida nodded. That's how I got all the money. From 1,000 naira. Successor's eyes grew big. We can be rich. We can buy Bond Street hair, iPhones, new clothes. No, Ida said quickly. The old woman warned me not to use the pot for selfish things. She said I should help people. Help people. Success rolled her eyes. Ida, let's be honest. You helped her. The pot is yours. You can do what you want. But greed can bring trouble, Ida said. We don't want that. That evening, when Ida got home after school, Mama Neka frowned when she saw the clay pot. Ida, what is this dirty thing you're carrying? It's for school, Mama, Ida lied quickly. Home economics class. Well, put it outside. It looks like a village cooking pot. I don't want my house dirty, Mama Neka said. Ida sighed. She didn't want to lie to her mother. But how could she explain the magic? That evening, she quietly hid the pot under her bed. The next morning, Mocha and Success were whispering outside Ida's house. We need that pot, Success said. Ida is wasting it. We can do better with it. You mean, steal it? Mocha whispered. Yes. Just borrow it. We'll return it later. They waited until Ida went to fetch water. Then they knocked on Mama Neka's door. Auntie, good morning, they greeted sweetly. Please, did Ida leave her school pot here? Oh, that dirty pot. She left it inside. Go and take it. Thank you, Ma. They rushed inside, grabbed the pot, and ran off. When Ida came home and found the pot gone, her heart sank. Mama, where's the pot? Your friends came for it. I gave it to them. What? Mama, no. Triple A, Mama, why no? What is inside that pot that you're shouting like this? Mama Neka asked, surprised. Ida couldn't answer. Tears filled her eyes. Meanwhile, Mocha and Success were already testing the pot. They dropped a pair of earrings inside. Then a bottle of perfume. Then a 500 naira note. The pot kept multiplying everything. We're rich. Success danced. We are going to Dubai. Mocha laughed. But they didn't know, something dark was starting to wake up inside the pot. A tiny crack appeared at the bottom. The pot shook lightly, but the girls didn't notice. That evening, Ida sat on the ground outside her house, staring at the sky. She felt like crying. Why didn't I just hide the pot better, she thought. Now Mocha and Success will use it for the wrong things. She remembered the old woman's words. Great power comes with great responsibility. Ida knew something bad could happen if they kept using the pot for greedy things. She decided to go find them the next morning. At that same time, Mocha and Success were in Success's backyard, laughing and dancing. The pot sat in the middle of the ground. They had already multiplied earrings, drinks, money, even shoes. Success opened a small bag. Let's try this, she said, holding out a gold necklace. No, Mocha said. Let's try my cousin's iPhone. Success smiled. Put it in. They dropped the iPhone into the pot and tapped it 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. Suddenly, the pot rumbled. A strange wind blew around them. The pot glowed red instead of gold. Then, crack, a small piece chipped off the side. Oh, what was that? Mocha shouted, stepping back. I don't know, Success said, worried. Let's just open it. They opened the pot. Inside were 5 iPhones, just like the one they dropped. But behind the phones was a strange black smoke. It swirled, then quickly disappeared. Success didn't care. It still worked. Let's keep going. But Mocha looked nervous. Are you sure it's safe? The next day, Ida went to the school early, hoping to find them. She waited and waited, but they didn't come. Then, on her way home, she saw something strange, 2 young boys sitting by the road, crying. "Auntie, please help us. We have not eaten since morning," one said. Ida looked at their small hands and sad faces. She remembered the pot, and her heart broke. "I don't have anything with me," she said gently. "But wait for me here. I'll bring food." She ran home, grabbed the little food her mother cooked, rice and vegetables, and returned to the boys. They ate and smiled. "Thank you, Auntie." One of them asked, "Are you the girl with the magic pot?" Ida's eyes widened. "Who told you that?" "Everyone is talking," the boy said. "Your friends have been showing the pot to people. They said it gives anything." Ida's heart sank. "Oh no," she whispered. Back in the village, people were beginning to talk. Some said 2 schoolgirls had found a pot that makes gold. Others said it was evil magic. And far away in the forest, the mystery woman stood in front of a glowing fire, her eyes closed. She opened them slowly and whispered, "The pot is shaking. The balance is breaking. Ida must return." That evening, Mocha and Success sat in a small room filled with shopping bags, shoes, and phones. The floor was messy. Empty snack packs and plastic wrappers were everywhere. But the magic pot now looked different. The color was no longer gold. It was turning dark gray, and strange lines and cracks had appeared all over it. Mocha looked at it. "Success, don't you think we should stop?" "Stop?" Success laughed. "Now. When we have everything we've ever wanted. But the pot is acting strange." "Maybe it's tired," Success said with a shrug. "It's just a pot. Who cares?" Just then, the pot shook. Rumble. The girls jumped. "What was that?" Mocha asked, her voice shaking. Suddenly, the pot let out a deep, strange sound. Woo! Woo! A cold wind blew through the room. The lights flickered. The bags they had filled with money and things began to fall over. And then, boom! The pot exploded, not into pieces, but into a cloud of black smoke that filled the room. Mocha screamed. Success covered her face. The smoke twisted like a snake and formed a shadow with glowing red eyes. "You have used what is not yours," the voice boomed. The girls ran out of the room, coughing and crying. The next day, Ada heard people shouting near the market. "Fire! Fire!" She ran with others to see what happened. It was Success's house. Smoke came from the windows. The roof was broken. Someone said, "That strange pot, maybe it caused it." Ida's heart pounded. She knew things were getting worse. She needed to find the old woman. She needed help. That night, Ida knelt in her room, holding a small cloth the woman had left behind. She whispered, "Mystery woman, please hear me. I tried to do good. But now the pot is with the wrong people. Please help me fix this before something terrible happens." Outside, the moonlight shone bright. A soft wind blew through the window. Then, a gentle voice answered, "Come to the sacred tree at sunrise. Come alone." Ida stood up. She heard me. The next morning, Ida quietly left her house before the sun came up. She walked toward the forest path, the same place she had followed the woman with the heavy pot. She saw the tree. It was tall and wide, with white cloth tied around its trunk. And there, standing with her hands behind her back, was the mystery woman, dressed in a colorful wrapper and head tie. "My daughter," she said, "you have returned. But so has the danger." Ida ran to her. "Mama, the pot is angry. My friends used it wrongly. Please, how do I fix this?" The woman looked at her with serious eyes. "The pot is not just magic. It is a gift from the spirit world. A gift to test the heart. You passed the test, Ida. But your friends failed. Can we still save them?" Ida asked. The woman nodded slowly. "Only if you are brave. Only if you are ready." The early morning air was cool and quiet. Birds chirped softly in the trees above. Ida stood in front of the mystery woman, her heart beating fast. "What do I have to do?" Ida asked. The woman walked slowly around the sacred tree. "You must go to the heart of the forest, to the place called Ekiri Grove. That is where the spirit of the pot was born." "The spirit of the pot?" Ida repeated, confused. "Yes," the woman said. "The pot is alive. It was made by ancient hands, and it listens to the heart of whoever uses it. Your friend's greed has awakened its dark side. If left alone, it will no longer multiply blessings, it will multiply trouble." Ida swallowed hard. "But I'm just a girl. How can I fix this?" The woman placed her hand on Ida's shoulder. "Because you are brave. Because you care. That is all the spirit needs." Then the woman opened a small calabash and took out a smooth white stone. She pressed it into Ida's palm. "Take this. When you reach Ekiri Grove, place it inside the pot. The spirit will listen. But beware, the journey will not be easy." Ida nodded. "I'll do it." The woman smiled. "Go now. And remember, do not listen to fear. Listen to your heart." As Ida walked away, the sun rose gently over the hills. She passed the schoolyard, where children were beginning to arrive. Some stared at her and whispered, "That's the girl with the magic pot. She lost it, didn't she? She brought a curse to the village." Ida lowered her head but kept walking. She had no time to explain. She had to save her friends and the village. Meanwhile, Mocha and Success were hiding in the backyard of an old building. They were scared. They had lost all the things they had multiplied, burned in the fire or turned into dust. Worse, strange dreams kept waking them at night. In the dreams, the pot chased them through a dark forest, its eyes glowing red. "I think we made a mistake," Mocha whispered. Success hugged her knees. "What do we do now?" Before Mocha could answer, they heard a knock on the wooden gate. Knock. Knock. They froze. "Who is it?" Mocha whispered. Then a voice answered, soft and calm. "Come out. I'm not angry. I just want to talk." It was Ida. Mocha opened the gate. Her eyes were tired. "You found us." "I followed the smoke," Ida said. "And your footprints." Success looked down, ashamed. "Ida, we are sorry. We didn't mean for things to go so wrong." Ida stepped forward and opened her hand, showing them the white stone. "I know how to fix it. But I need your help." Mocha frowned. "Why would you want our help after everything?" "Because you're still my friends," Ida said. "And because the pot is not just a gift. It's a test." That night, the three girls packed water, food, and a small torch. Then they set out under the stars, heading toward the dark path that led into Ekiri Grove. They did not know what waited for them. But something in the wind whispered, "Only the pure of heart shall pass." The night was quiet, but the forest was not. As Ida, Mocha, and Success walked deeper into Ekiri Grove, the trees grew taller and thicker. Their leaves blocked the moonlight, and the girls had to use their torch to see the path. This place gives me chills, Success whispered, hugging her arms. We are almost there, Ida said softly, holding the white stone tightly. Just stay close. Suddenly, they heard a sound, whispers. But there was no one in sight. Did you hear that? Mocha asked, her eyes wide. The whispers grew louder. They seemed to come from every tree and leaf. Greed. Lies. The pot sees you. Let's turn back, Success said quickly. Please. This forest is haunted. No, Ida said firmly. We've come this far. We must finish what we started. They walked a few more steps, then suddenly the ground shook beneath their feet. Boom! A large tree in front of them moved, pulling its roots out of the earth like giant arms. Its trunk opened, and from inside stepped a shadowy figure. It was shaped like a man, but its body was made of smoke and fire. Its eyes glowed red, just like the pot. I am the spirit of the pot, it said in a deep voice. You called me here with your greed. Success and Mocha clung to each other in fear. Ida stood tall. I didn't call you, but I came to fix the damage. You were once a gift. You helped me see how powerful kindness can be. I want to return you to peace. The spirit looked at her. And what of those who used me for their own gain? Ida looked at her friends. They made mistakes, but they are sorry. Mocha stepped forward. We didn't understand. Success added, we were selfish, but we are not anymore. The spirit was silent. Then it stretched out one smoky arm and pointed to the white stone in Ida's hand. Place the stone inside me. If your hearts are true, the pot will return to balance. But if even one of you is lying, you will be trapped in this forest forever. The girls looked at each other. Then Ida stepped forward, heart pounding, and dropped the white stone into the spirit's chest. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a soft light glowed from within the spirit. The red turned to gold. The smoky body began to fade, and the wind stopped whispering. The spirit's voice echoed once more. The heart is stronger than greed. The pot belongs in the hands of the wise. Then the spirit vanished. In its place stood the magic pot, whole and glowing peacefully. The girls gasped. It's back, Success whispered. Mocha touched it gently. And it's warm again. Like it's alive. Ida smiled, tears in her eyes. We did it. As the sun rose over Ikiri Grove, the girls began their journey back home. Birds sang above them, and the forest no longer felt scary. But something new lay ahead. The pot had returned, but with it came a new responsibility. A soft voice floated in the air as they walked. You have passed the test, but more will come. The sun was already high in the sky when Ida, Mocha, and Success reached the edge of Idu Amoja village. They were tired, dirty, and hungry, but they were smiling. The magic pot sat in Ida's hands, glowing softly like a warm lantern. It felt peaceful now, no longer angry or shaking. As they walked into the village square, people turned to stare. Look! It's Ida. She came back. She's carrying the pot again. But this time, the whispers were not full of fear. They were full of wonder. Old men stopped pounding yam. Children paused their games. Market women stared, their mouths open. Then, from the middle of the crowd, Mama Nekaran told them, Ida, my child. She hugged her daughter tightly. Where have you been? I'm fine, Mama, Ida said softly. I had to fix something. Mama Neko looked down at the pot. That pot again. Is it still causing trouble? Ida smiled. No, Mama. Now, it can be used for good. That evening, Ida called a village meeting. Everyone gathered under the big Iroko tree in the center of the village. The sun had set, and oil lamps flickered as Ida stood with Mocha and Success beside her. She held up the pot and said clearly, "This is not just a pot. It is a gift, but only when used to help others." Then she called out, "Please, if there is anyone here who is in need, step forward." A skinny boy raised his hand. "My papa has been sick. We don't have money for medicine." Ida smiled. "Come." She dropped a packet of herbs into the pot and tapped it 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. The pot glowed, and out came 10 packets of the same healing herbs. Gasps filled the crowd. Next, an old widow spoke. "My roof is broken. Rain enters my house." Ida dropped a small sheet of roofing metal into the pot. Again. Tap, tap, tap. More sheets appeared. Cheers and claps burst through the air. The villagers began to smile again. "Ida is a gift," someone shouted. "No, this pot is from the gods." But Ida raised her hand. "Please, let's not worship the pot. It only works when we use it to help each other. That's the true magic." Later that night, as the crowd began to leave, Mocha and Success sat beside Ida under the Iroko tree. "You were right all along," Mocha said. "The pot was never about things. It was about people." Ida nodded. "Now we must protect it, and make sure no one uses it the wrong way again." Success looked worried. "But what if someone tries to steal it again?" Ida looked at the glowing pot. "Then we'll guard it together." Suddenly, a cool breeze passed through the tree leaves. Then they heard it, a soft whisper in the wind. "Use it well, for your journey has only begun." The next morning, the village of Idu Amoja was full of laughter. Children danced around the square, women pounded yam and sang, and the men helped repair old homes with the roofing sheets Ida had multiplied. The magic pot was now kept in the small village hall, safe under lock and key. Ida, Mocha, and Success had become something like heroes, but Ida kept reminding everyone. It's not us. It's kindness. The pot listens to the heart, not just the hands. But peace doesn't always last forever. That afternoon, a man walked into the village. He wore a long brown kaftan with gold patterns, and his shoes were polished and shiny. He had dark sunglasses and a leather bag in his hand. People turned and stared. No one had seen him before. He greeted the villagers with a wide smile. "Good day, my people. I am Chief Oloy from across the river." The elders gathered quickly, and Ida was called to join them. "I've heard about the wonderful pot in your village," Chief Oloy said. "And I must say, I'm impressed. In fact, I would like to help." "Help how?" one of the elders asked, eyeing him carefully. "I have money," Chief Oloy said, patting his bag. "Plenty. I want to build a big hall for your pot, something grand. I can also bring in traders, investors, even news cameras." The people looked around, confused but curious. Ada stepped forward. "Sir, thank you. But we don't need all that. The pot is not for show. It is for helping the needy." Chief Oloy smiled, but his eyes behind the sunglasses didn't smile at all. "Helping the needy is good, yes. But think bigger. What if the pot could help the whole country? What if it could make us all rich?" Ida's heart sank. She recognized that tone. She had heard it before, in the voices of her friends, when they had first wanted to multiply iPhones and bone straight hair. "Sir," she said calmly, "the pot chooses who it listens to. And it doesn't work for greed." Chief Oloy leaned closer. "Is that so? Well, I like to test things myself." That night, the village elders held a meeting. Some were excited. What if this man is right? What if we build a center, a palace for the pot? Others shook their heads. That's not the way. The pot is a sacred gift, not a market tool. Meanwhile, Mocha and Success pulled Ida aside. "I don't trust that man," Mocha whispered. "He talks too smooth." "We've seen what happens when people try to use the pot for themselves," said Success. "We can't let him near it." Ida nodded. "We have to protect the pot, even if the village doesn't understand yet." Later that night, as the stars filled the sky, Ida sat beside the pot in the village hall. She placed her hand gently on it. "Please, if you can hear me," she whispered, "help me guard you. Help me protect this village." Outside, the wind stirred the trees again. And far away, in the dark, Chief Oloy stood near a mango tree, watching the whole from a distance. He smiled to himself and said softly, "Whether they agree or not, that pot will be mine." That night, the stars sparkled above Idu Amoja, but something in the air felt wrong. Ida couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned on her mat, her heart heavy. The image of Chief Oloy, standing tall with his shiny shoes and sweet words, kept flashing in her mind. Something about him didn't sit right. He smiled too easily and asked too many questions. Outside her window, the village was quiet. Too quiet. Then, a loud bang. Bang! Ida sat up straight. She threw on her wrapper and ran toward the village hall. From the shadows of a tall palm tree, Mocha stepped out. "Ida, I heard something. I think someone is trying to take the pot." Together, they ran. As they turned the corner, Success came running too, holding a lantern. But what they saw made Ida's breath catch in her throat. The door to the village hall was wide open. Inside, the lock lay broken. Pieces of wood were scattered on the floor. And the pot? Gone. Ida's knees nearly gave way. "No. No, no, no." Then Success pointed toward the edge of the bush path. "Look. Footprints. Fresh ones. Heavy ones. And beside them, wheel marks, like from a cart." "They took it," Mocha whispered. "They actually took it." Ida clenched her fist. "He said it. He warned us without saying the words. Chief Oloy, he stole the pot. But where would he take it?" Success asked. Ida's eyes burned with determination. "Across the river. To his home. He wants to use it for power, to control people." Mocha looked around. "Do we tell the elders?" Ida shook her head. "Not yet. We go after him first. If we lose time, he might break the pot, or worse." "But Ida," Success said quietly, "how do we fight a man like that? He has guards, land, maybe even charms." Ida turned to them, her voice calm and sharp like a blade. "Then we'll use the one thing he doesn't have, a heart the pot will listen to." In front of him sat the pot. He smiled, dropped a stack of dollars into it, tapped 3 times. Tap. 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 Suddenly, the pot shook violently, and a strange red mist began to rise. He laughed. "Oh yes. The power is mine now." But the mist whispered, "She is coming." The journey across the river was not easy. Ida, Mocha, and Success borrowed a canoe from a friendly fisherman before dawn. They paddled through mist and silence, guided only by moonlight and hope. "We're almost there," Ida whispered, her fingers tightly gripping the sides of the canoe. As the sun began to rise, the grand gates of Chief Oloy's compound appeared, tall and golden, like a palace. The girls hid behind the bushes, peeking through the iron bars. Inside, Chief Oloy stood proudly in front of the pot, surrounded by guards. But something was wrong. The pot glowed red again, and dark smoke curled from its mouth. The floor cracked beneath it. One of the guards reached out to touch it. Boom! He flew backward, landing with a thud. Chief Oloy's smile vanished. "What is happening? I gave you money. I gave you gold." The pot rumbled. Ida turned to her friends. Now's our chance. The pot is rejecting him. The girls slipped through a back gate. Guards were running in panic. A strange wind had filled the air. Inside the main room, Chief Olo was shouting, "Obey me. I own you." Ida stepped into the doorway. "No," she said firmly. "You never owned the pot. It was never about power or wealth." Chief Olo spun around. You came here. I came to take back what you stole and restore what you broke." He laughed bitterly. "Do you think I'll just hand it over?" But before he could take a step, the pot suddenly lifted itself into the air. It hovered between them, glowing white now. A soft voice echoed from within. "The one who listens, the one who gives, the one who loves, shall lead." Then the pot gently floated into Ida's arms. Chief Oloy tried to rush forward, but the floor beneath him cracked again. He stumbled and fell. The guards ran out, frightened. Ida, Mocha, and Success stood strong. 1 week later, back in Idu Amoja, the village was filled with joy. The pot had returned, peacefully, and the people gathered around the Iroko tree once more. This time, Ida didn't keep it in a hole or behind a lock. Instead, the pot was placed in a small house of giving, open to the village, but only used when needed. Sick people were healed. Hungry children were fed. Poor farmers received seeds and tools. But more importantly, hearts began to change. And Chief Oloy, he returned to his land quietly. But he changed too. He began to help people without expecting anything in return. Because even the proudest hearts can learn to love again. Moral lessons. 1. Kindness has power even when no one sees it. 2. Greed destroys, but selflessness builds. 3. True leadership comes from serving others, not controlling them. 4. Forgiveness brings peace even to the most broken hearts. 5. The gifts we are given are not for us alone, but to bless those around us. Bible scripture. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12 verse 21, NIV. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. This is African Folktale Word.